Okay, so we stopped the last video, literally came straight back so I can kind of keep it separated. On this one, I'm going to start with the inside to get all these rough edges, since I still got some stability left on this dauber, but I am running out of dye. So essentially it's all going to be the same thing. You just kind of work it in. Some people do circles, some people swipe. Me, it just kind of depends on how I feel that day. I'm going to move this for when it's time to move the holster over. And again, I'm dyeing this one before I stitch it, because we want contrast stitching. So if we put on white thread and then try and dye it black, it's not going to hold. So, and again, I said in the other videos, you know, I got all these black pin marks. Well, holster's going to be black. No one's going to see it. No one's going to see all my mistakes. They're mine to brood on. So, and again, the insides, I'm not overly concerned with evenness, because this is going to be sealed up pretty nicely. I just wanted a single coat on the inside. So, and there are some people say, oh, you know, you gotta put multiple coats on. Yeah, if you're having trouble, but if you get it really nice and saturated dye wise when you do it on the first, you usually don't have too much. I've put as many as 3 coats on things before and still not gotten even coats. So it's probably my leather, but I wasted a whole lot of dye on it. So if I can get it about even, I'm usually okay with that. So I just, again, I'm using this new thing that my wife just gave me to record this, so I'm hoping it's picking up my voice enough. Oh man, come on. Pain in the ass. I'm gonna have to clean that off. So that's why I recommend using old tools, wearing old clothes, things like that. So we've got a nice full bottle now that I can go ahead and start sweeping in. It's also why I like to draw the lines on the inside, so that even if I do have a lighter color, there's much less chance anyone's going to see it. You want your stuff to look nice. So I think when I do the outside of this, I'll show a little bit more about, you know, not rushing it, doing it quickly like I'm doing right now, because I just want to, as much fun as I've had making this, it's about time for it to be done. So I'm going to make sure it's right, but I'm going to go ahead and speed up a little bit. But again, talking and doing camera work, or trying to do camera work, because I don't know how to. So, you know, actually see what I'm doing, or is that in the way? There we go. So can you actually see it's kind of darker in some spots and lighter in others, because it's not totally even. But again, it's not the end of the world. Most of this is going to be covered up anyway. And I found a hard spot now. So I would imagine this is why some people dye it first and then come back and do stitching or punch holes. But it should be alright. In case you're wondering, all I'm doing is kind of getting a little much and just letting it run in the hole. Because sometimes you'll have difficulty getting down in crevices on something like this anyway. I don't usually have that issue, but occasionally. So the faces I definitely want to make sure are even are going to be obviously my outside, where people are going to see it. You can see how the saturation's starting to wear on it. And I think I just swiped it. Yeah. But so yeah, your smooth pieces, the pieces people are gonna see. This is actually the belt loop, so I definitely want this to look nice too, even though it's gonna be on the back side. I want it to look nice. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of run the edge, because I'm probably gonna have to redo the edge after I come back with the gum track. But again, since I'm wearing this dauber out pretty quick, I'm gonna use it for my rougher areas. You don't really need a whole lot to get the edge. A little bit more. All my creases and crevices and wonderful. Alright, so I'm going to move this off before I knock it over and ruin not only my clothes and my table, but my holster. Alright, so we got the whole inside of it done. See, my pin marks have all but disappeared. Oh, I did forget an edge. So, obviously, if you were going to do multiple colors on a holster or paint it or things like that, you'd be much more careful. But when it's a huge piece like this and it's all one color, you can kind of get a little lazy. So, and again, just trying to make sure get all the way down. Yeah, nice saturation level. This is all going to be nice and closed up and the snap, and so the things that people are really going to look at are the things I want to make sure have a very nice deep color. A little bit more in here. So around the edges of your holster where the openings, some of your straps and whatnot. So I'm actually going to redo my belt strap here real quick, just so, because I don't want that to fade. I want that to look nice forever. And this isn't even the hardest part. Sealing is the hardest part. So, alright, we're back at 8 minutes. So, and we're just doing this. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get another. No, sorry, it focuses all sorts of off. What are you doing? Thank you. But yeah, so I'm gonna kind of flatten out right here, right? And so again, some people will tell you, you know, oh, circular motions, you know. That's the best way to get an even coat. The best way to get an even coating is whatever way you figure out. I've done the circles a lot, but sometimes, again, the way I've been able to judge when it's really done is when everything is saturated in itself. You know, there's no random dry spots anywhere. So, again, let's slow down a little bit, but I want to keep it short. Did you see how quick? Can you see that? How quick it's drying as I come across? That's when you know you need more, or at least how I figured it out. When it stays nice and wet for a second, and there's no random pockets of resistance, it should be alright. So, in case anybody was wondering, the reason I say sealing is the worst, or putting in the Resolene or the Super Sheen, or I've used both. I've had varying results depending on the holster itself, but it's always a pain because it gets bubbles. You don't want bubbles in your holster because it looks weird. So, and I have yet to figure out how to do that, so most of the time I just use my hand and swipe. Did I just lose focus? That mess. I sworn I saw something. So, I'm just proving to my wife that I actually am a crazy person in a shed. Well, now I'm outside, but you get the idea. So, yeah, there go the threads. I didn't get enough of this one off, so. Let's try and keep this one under. You know what? I'm gonna set that one off to the side. I'm gonna start moving here because it's getting a little rough. There we go. Nice and saturated. So, and obviously the bigger the project, the more dye you're going to need, not just in surface area, but in terms of getting an even color. I'm doing this one fast so you can kind of see what the hell I'm talking about. Oh, look, totally crazy. Can you see the stripes? You see the lines? That's where it's absorbing well in some places and not in others, or it's absorbing more in one place as opposed to another. That's why you usually put on more than one coat, or you should, or the people recommend you do. But at the same time, I've seen plenty of people, and done it myself, just one coat. You know, some people, oh, you gotta wait 24 hours in between the dry. Well, some people don't do this for a living, and we do this for fun, and we want to keep it fun. So, waiting 4 days in between for complete and under dry, well, yeah, it's a good practice, but sometimes you just need to get things done. Me personally, I'm extremely busy, so that's why I'm moving a little fast, because I'm coming on 2 o'clock now, my time, and yeah, I need to get moving, because once again, it's a work day, and I've gotta get to work. So I'm just gonna keep putting this one up, because I really want this to be even, because I'm actually using thinner leather than I normally do. You can kind of see on this one. See all these light spots? It's not a big deal because it's on the inside, but definitely don't want that back here. So, being that I do have to go to work, this is going to essentially dry for probably about 24 hours until I can wake up tomorrow and show it again. So let's just go look at ammo banding right here. Looks like we're pretty much even. Again, we gotta off my camera. We gotta get in there and get those natural colors out. But all in all, it looks like it's holding up all right. And same thing for this. Again, I just added that back plate for a little extra rigidity. See, is that gonna hide, or do I need to get in there? Hey, you look things over before. I'm just working the dye back in that crease, because I don't know how I missed it, but I did. So I think that'll about do it today. So I'm going to lay this stuff out to dry, and let's see if I can fix this real quick and get you up so that we can talk to each other again. Sorry, this thing bounces. I haven't quite figured out how to do it. Look at that. So, coming on 15 minutes. So we've got our pieces dyed. I am gonna cut you off. I'm not gonna do it here, but you see that little tan on the inside. I'm gonna get in there with a Q-tip and get that done. Just because if it's gonna be black, it's gonna be all black. And then I'm gonna set this stuff in the dry shed to make sure. It's kind of cold outside lately, but yeah, it's all gonna dry nice and well, and hopefully, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll look at it. And I'm still excited. I've got to wait. I'm like I said, I'm trying this new camera thing out. But anyway, we're on 15 minutes, so I'm gonna pack all my stuff up. I'm gonna take a nap, go to work, and we'll be back tomorrow. Stay tuned, guys.